Hi everyone, and welcome to 2-Player Quest, where I help you on your quest to find the best 2-player board games for you. In today's video, I have Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape by CMON Games. In this game, you play as a Lightbringer, fighting off the hordes that the darkness has sent to this world. You fight, move, and level up to defeat these enemies and close the portals where they came from. But how many Lightbringers makes the game interesting, and how does it work? Well, let's find out. Massive Darkness 2 is a game for 1 to 6 players that plays, according to BGG, in 60 minutes, but when we have played this game, 2-player was about an hour and a half, 4 players was 2 to 3 hours, and 6-player was 3 to 3.5 hours. So I would go more with 30 to 45 minutes per player, as that's basically what we've been doing. So I think that's more realistic. It's at a 2.73 on Board Game Geek for complexity. So it's easy, but I would edge a bit more towards the medium side, that it's slightly more complex than easy. And it is a high luck game. It is all about dice rolls, what cards you draw. Again, depending on sort of the character that you're playing, it's more important to what cards you draw than others, as some have extra cards. But in general, if you get items that are good for you, or if you don't get items that are good for you, if you get bosses or mobs that are good for you, if you don't get mobs that are good for you, a lot of it is very high luck. So there you go. So this is what the table might look like at frankly, in the middle of a 6-player game. So on the right hand side, you can see the dice. We have all the different characters. I'm not going to go much into depth in most of the characters, but I'll give a quick general overview. Here you can see the map, our player characters, the roaming monster here. At the moment, we don't have any mobs because we killed them all, but you can see the roaming monster here, all the cards you would need, more dice, and I will tell you more about that in a moment. You can see 3 characters at the top, and then we have 3 characters at the bottom that I will show you too. So over there we have the barbarian who uses rage to do some things. Then we have the shaman or the shaman. The shaman who uses special element powers. Then we have the paladin who makes certain zones. As you can see on the board, there's the green zone and here is the blue zone. And they give zones special powers. Then at the bottom here we have the rogue, which uses special tokens which you put in a bag to draw actions from, and they give every action a different ability. Then here we have the archer, which draws arrow cards, and you want exactly 7 arrows on your hand to get the optimal bonus. So this would be 4 arrows. So it's a bit of a gamble. And then we have the wizard who works with this turntable to do certain extra bonuses. Now, every round consists of a few phases. You start with the hero phase, in which all the heroes do up to 3 things. Now, one of the things you can do is move, and that is use 2 movement points. For example, walking, opening a door, picking stuff up. Those kind of things all cost a movement point. When you open the door, you need to grab a door card, and you basically do what it says on the card. Another thing you can do is either trade, for example, or fight monsters. Now, for this example, I will quickly place down a mob of skeletons. Here we have a mob of skeletons, so that's 6 minions and the leader. So if the archer, the one in blue, wanted to attack this mob, they would look at their abilities, and here you can see at ranged they can have 1 yellow dice, and their first range attack of the turn gets a 2nd yellow dice. On top of those, this mob has a defense of 1 blue dice, so you'd roll 1 blue dice, and you roll 1 black dice for every minion in the party you are attacking. And lastly, we add the purple dice, because this archer is in darkness. You can see the color differences. This is bright red, that's sort of grayish, that's darkness, so you add a different colored die. Then we roll the dice to sort of do damage. The mob's special ability is if they roll 2 claws while they are attacked, or basically while they are defending, then they spawn 1 skeleton unless the attacking hero discards 1 energy. So in this case, I have 3 of these, so I can spend 1 energy to prevent that from happening. At the moment, I have 1 reroll that I can use, and I will use that to reroll this one, because I've already spent 1 energy for that one. The second one doesn't matter, and I don't want that 1 damage, but I get it anyway. So in this case, I take 2 damage from the 2 scratch marks. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, but they have 1 shield, so I do 4 damage. You can see here they have 2 HP each. So 4 damage means 2 of these are dead, and this character gets 1 HP for every kill, so that's 2 HP. You continue on this way until every character has done their turn. Next comes the mob activation phase. So it is the enemy phase and the mobs go first. So in this case, this mob will attack the wizard here, and then it is the turn for the roaming monsters, which again do separate special things as stated on their cards. Then it is the level up phase. So if heroes have enough HP to level up, so if it gets to level 2, that is 5 HP, 5 XP. Level 3 is 10 XP, level 4 is 12, and then 16. And the XP does get reduced by that amount. So you do have to get 5, then technically you need to have a total of 15, then technically you need to have a total of 27, etc. to get to those higher levels. When you go level up, you can choose another one of your ability cards, your level cards, to pick to get another bonus. So you can choose these to make your build different every time you play the game. Last, it is the darkness phase, in which you place the time track and you move it 1 forward. In this case, we would add 1 rare token to the loot bag, but in this next case, you would spawn a mob at every gate. The game is lost if any player would die, and the game is won once the players have fulfilled their mission. Teaching Massive Darkness 2 to new players, I would say takes anywhere from 10 to maybe 20 minutes, depending on how experienced your players are. If they are used to dungeon crawlers and they sort of understand the concepts and the mechanics, then that will make this game a whole lot easier to learn. Plus, on top of that, you probably want about 5 minutes to sort of get to understand your character, learn what they do, how they work, as every character is different. So a bit of experience in board games certainly does help, but you can still get started relatively quickly, I think. If you are looking for a dungeon crawling hack and slash game, then this is a really good fit. Every character has completely different mechanics, so one is a bit more of a gambler, the other one chooses special actions, another has other special things they can do. So every character has something completely different to offer and gives you a whole different experience in the game. So that's also something that if you like that, then this is possibly a nice fit. There is basically no story whatsoever in this game. It's basically you get a mission, kill that many enemies, that's one of the ones that we're doing now, and get out, or press these buttons and close the portals and get out. So in general, if you want story behind your hack and slash game, you're not going to find it here. This game is a game that frankly really had to grow on me, and it is definitely growing on me. At the start, I basically wasn't sure whether I liked it or not. I wasn't positive about it, but I didn't feel negative about it either. And I wasn't necessarily enjoying my time playing this game, but I also wasn't hating my time playing this game. So now, after a few games, after playing it with other people and with more players, I am getting to the point that I am certainly starting to like this game, and I certainly think it should stay in our cupboard, because there are definitely times in which this game will come back to the table for us. Mainly because of the characters, so the special abilities every character has, it plays differently. Sometimes it's just nice to have a hack and slash game. We like rolling dice. In general, there are a lot of things about this game that we like. There are some things we like a bit less when it comes to sort of the randomizers. If you don't have the right cards, then that's basically going to take away a lot of the fun. And for example, if someone else is doing a really good job and you're sort of lacking behind a bit, it can also be a bit not that nice. But in general, we're starting to really... Well, my husband already liked it, but I am starting to enjoy this game. and we certainly will bring it back to the table quite a bit. I would say this game plays very well with pretty much all player counts. We have played it with a lot of the player counts, and it works really well. The main difference is it scales per player. So for every player, you get an extra minion. Now, this does make it a lot more dangerous, and you are more likely to lose HP with more players than with less. When you play a 2-player game, it feels quite short and simple for us, but once you start upping it to 4 players or to 6, for example, it gets a lot harder, more challenging, and also for us, a lot more fun. Now, playing it with 4 is a good number if you don't want to spend too much time, but even in a 6-player game, it will probably cost you about 3 to 3.5 hours. But for a 6-player game of this magnitude, that's quite a good length of time. So in general, I would say it's good for 2, it's better for 4, and if you add more than 4, it's certainly definitely gonna get better. So maybe it is better with 6. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching our review of Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape. If you want to see another one of my reviews, you can click up here. If you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you next time on 2 Player Quest.